it all up in a dish. Add a cup of clean swamp water. Then you count from 1 to 9. Spit over your left shoulder. You got alligator wine. Alligator wine. You old porcupine. It's gonna make you mine. It's gonna make you mine. It'll make you bald-headed, baby. It'll make your toes freeze. It'll turn your blood to steam. Shh. It'll make you cough and sneeze.
Hey, how you doing? This is Pete over at Southwest Rod and Custom over in Lewisville, Texas. We got us a little Volkswagen project car we've been working on. And what we did so far, we stripped that baby down to bare metal. We used airplane stripper and stripped it by hand. I don't believe in soda blasting and sand blasting, because what will happen is from the factory there's actually a coat on here that's penetrated into the metal. And when you get it sandblasted and soda blasted, it takes that finish off. This car can actually sit around for several months in bare metal and it won't rust. There's no rust on it anywhere. It's a very clean car. And the way that you tell when you're looking for these cars like this that you want to restore and you want to keep, what you do is you come over here and this is just a few tips, you know, to find out if the car is really what the person says it is. So if you look over here in the fender well, you can see that there's green paint, which is the factory paint, underneath the tar. And that paint is still brand new under there. So that would be a sign that this is a rust-free car. Just one sign. So what we did, the previous owner of this car, he went ahead and painted the dash with house paint. So what we had to do is we had to strip all the paint off. If you come over here and look at that. We stripped all that down to bare metal by hand. Once again, we don't want to use no soda blasting, no sand blasting. What happens, it gets up in the grooves here, it gets inside all the little nooks and crannies, and it'll ruin your car. You'll never get all that out. So, like I said, stripping it by hand with aircraft stripper is the best way to go. So if you want to get on southwestrodandcustom.com, you'll be able to see photographs start to finish of this car, and we're going to have a few videos of what it's going to be like. This is a little model that I painted, and this is a good suggestion for anybody out there that you know, wants to paint their car and they're really not sure of the color. Before you waste thousands of dollars on painting a car, it would be a good idea to go buy yourself a $25, $30 metal car, okay, and waste about $50 painting it with the colors that you picked out to paint your car. And I like these colors here. It turned out really nice. And the real car is going to look just like that. Before we paint this, we'll be taking all the windows out. All this rubber's been cut back. I'm not going to take the glass out until we get ready to paint it, but it will be primed like that, so I can get primer in the groove. The motor and transmit, the motor will come out. All that will be painted. Everything will be restored. This car will be like a brand new car. And the bodywork on this door has already been done. This is a left door that goes on that car out there. The original door that was on that car was dented too bad. I had to go buy another door. Now, what we have here, the bodywork's been done on this, like I just said. But this is called a guide coat. And it's very important to put a guide coat on your primer coat to make sure that you get all the deep scratches, the fine scratches, and everything else. And you just want to buy some cheap, inexpensive paint. I get this over at Home Depot. It's 89 cents a can. The cheaper the paint is, the better the guide coat is. And when you sand your car, you always want to use a block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand to show you what the difference is here. To show you what it really matters to have a guide coat. If you come over here, we'll get a close-up of this. I got the guide coat right here, and if you look real close right here, okay, when I sand that, now bring the camera over here, Steve, right here, get it real close. Okay, if you can look real close right in here, you see all the scratches And what that guide coat does, it actually tells you that you're not done sanding. It's going to take a lot of hand sanding. If you notice, I'm using a block. I use this block on flat surfaces. And then on Volkswagens, all Volkswagens are round. So this is a very hard surface here, but it's flexible. And that way you're getting, and I don't do no hand sanding. I don't use my hand on nothing. When you're sanding with your hand, you're sanding with your fingers and your knuckles. You're not sanding with a flat surface. So when you look down the side of that car, what's going to happen is you're going to see waves and ripples. When you use a block to sand it with, okay, it's a perfect, straight, clean car. Now, the first step is dry sanding with 180. Then I'm going to reprime all these pieces. And if you come over here and I'll show you. All these pieces have been here's a good example. The bodywork just got done on this. And I'm getting ready to prime that. When I prime it, I'll put 3 coats of 2-part primer, which is thick filler primer. There's different brands you can buy. And then we'll hand block sand all this. All these pieces have already been hand sanded with this block right here in 180 grit drive. Okay? So this stuff here is ready to reprime, and then we will wet sand it with 400 and 600, and then it'll be ready to paint. Now I want to just take a little second out of, when we first started this little conversation, we were talking about finding a car that you wanted to restore. Now the owner of this car looked high and low because he wanted to convert, he wanted a carbon Gia. And he tried to get the best possible car that he could buy. He wasn't really an experienced type person in, looking for the right car. So he had to buy one in his budget. Now this is a 1970 carbon Gia. I've restored quite a few of these cars and have never found one to be dent-free, rust-free, etc. Now, if you look at it, this is how he bought it. So it looked pretty good. But underneath the car, if you notice, somebody has done major work on this car. Okay? This car was completely filled with Bondo. Alright? The owner didn't realize that when we got it. We went ahead and stripped it down, and this quarter panel, somebody brazed that in with a brazing rod. Didn't even weld it right. Look how thick the Bondo and the filler is on this section right in here. Okay? That's pretty bad news when you spend all thousands of dollars on a car and then you do this to it and find that out. I suggest, before you buy a car, there's a little tool here that I use to look at cars. Okay? And what that is, that's a Bondo tester tool. It's a paint measuring gauge. Okay? Now, what this does, okay, this little item here save you a lot of time and a lot of money. What this does, that's going to tell you, if you get a real close-up look at that, right up in here. Can you see that gauge coming out there? Okay, now if you look right there, that's showing that that paint's really thin, which is a good idea. But if we come over here, okay, like right here, look right here, see? See, the magnet won't even stick right there. That's telling me there's a lot of Bondo there. If the owner of this vehicle would have had this magnet with him, he probably would not have purchased this car. Okay? All this was Bondo. Okay? We went ahead and redid all this here. I've replaced this section here. You can get on southwestrodandcustom.com and check it out. This section has been replaced. Okay? But see, when you put it on the Bondo area, it doesn't stick. But on metal, okay? So that's just one little, trick of going out and buying a car that you want to restore. So anyway, check out southwestrodandcustom.com, and we do a lot more than Volkswagens. We just happen to be doing our Volkswagens here right now, and we got a bunch of pictures on there from start to finish, and be looking for some more videos on them, and I hope you like